What dark secrets do two nuns carry as they walk into a remote, snow-covered town where no one dares to trust the church anymore? The story begins on a cold January evening in 1982. A remote mountain town named St. Hallows Hollow is shrouded in whispers of despair and superstition. Two nuns, Sister Eleanor and Sister Agnes, arrive in the town under the guise of helping restore faith in the crumbling local chapel. But why would two nuns arrive unannounced in such a place where religion is feared rather than revered? What drove them to this forsaken town? As the townsfolk reluctantly host the nuns, eerie things begin to happen. Doors slam shut with no wind, the church bells toll at midnight when no one is there, and children speak of the shadowed nun lurking in the forest. What are these two women hiding behind their kind smiles and holy habits? Why does every villager refuse to enter the church after sunset? What did the last priest of this town do before disappearing forever? The nuns begin their mission, but their behavior grows increasingly strange. Sister Eleanor spends hours in the chapel, murmuring prayers in a language no one recognizes. Sister Agnes, who rarely speaks, is seen wandering at night with a lantern, entering the woods where the children claim to see the shadow. As they start interacting with the townsfolk, they realize the chapel holds a dark history. The last priest, Father Bernard, was accused of conducting occult rituals disguised as sermons. He vanished without a trace, but whispers claim his spirit haunts the chapel. Villagers share chilling accounts of finding unmarked graves near the church and seeing blood-like stains on its altar. The nuns dismiss these claims as paranoia, but late at night, Sister Eleanor secretly scratches symbols into the church walls, while Sister Agnes guards the door. A child named Peter falls into a trance and draws horrifying images of nuns with blackened faces standing in a burning church. Sister Agnes is found in the cemetery, her lantern flickering, holding a weathered journal with Father Bernard's name on it. An elderly villager warns, "You think they came to save us? They brought what Father Bernard unleashed back with them." The tension builds when Sister Eleanor and Sister Agnes reveal their true purpose. They are not here to restore faith, but to seal away an ancient evil unleashed by Father Bernard. The journal found by Sister Agnes describes a covenant of shadows, a pact made centuries ago by clergy who sought forbidden knowledge. Father Bernard's disappearance was no mystery. He was consumed by the very entity he summoned, a spirit that can only be bound by two souls who take vows of eternal silence. As the clock strikes midnight, the chapel becomes a battleground. The entity, now free, takes the form of a twisted, shadowed nun, mocking their faith. Sister Eleanor and Sister Agnes confront it, reciting prayers that seem to burn the air itself. But the entity fights back, exposing the nuns' deepest fears. The audience is left questioning, will the nuns succeed in binding the entity, or will they become its next victims? Why did the Vatican send them, knowing the cost would be their lives? What if the entity is not the only evil lurking in St. Hallows Hollow? As dawn approaches, the nuns realize the only way to contain the entity is for one of them to offer their soul willingly. Sister Agnes steps forward, her final words a haunting whisper. Faith is sacrifice. The story ends with Sister Eleanor walking out of the chapel alone. Her face is gaunt, her silence absolute. The townsfolk find the chapel empty, save for an eerie calm and a single unlit lantern sitting on the altar. Did Sister Eleanor truly defeat the entity, or did it find a new host? What will happen to the cursed town now that it has tasted darkness twice? And why, weeks later, do villagers still hear faint whispers in the wind? Faith is sacrifice.